Okay, now here's some young guys that are students up in Canada, and they make notes on paper all the time, and they throw them away, and how we all live like that. Well, they decided, hey, I bet we could figure out a way to have like a whiteboard. The whiteboards are like chalkboards, but they're white and they use grease pencil. Instead of having a big one on the wall, you have a little tablet, a whiteboard, so you can keep using the paper over and over and over again. Plus, you could put like little transparency sheets on top of it, and then make copies of something on top of copies of something else, and then other people can add to that, and you can erase it and do it. And they said, hey, that'd be a great idea. So what they figured out, and they didn't know anything about it really, they just started looking for paper. They get on the internet, get on the telephone. Hey, do you guys make paper? Do you make paper like this that you can erase and do and all that kind of stuff? And so they tried a whole bunch of different things by just calling around and talking to people who make that stuff. I mean, with the internet, you could find out anything you want nowadays and contact people who will lead you to something else that's better than you even thought about. And so they put together this idea, and then they do a little video about their idea, put it on the internet, and they raised like $20,000 already, so they could mass produce these things and get it out to the market. So everybody, so kids, and see, what they're going to do is personalize them. So the front cover of every notebook could have your picture on it, or your child's picture on it, or your dog's picture on it, whatever you want on it, or just your name or whatever. And so it's a great idea, clever idea. And actually they say we all waste about a tree in our lifetime. So, I mean, you get a couple million people using this instead of scrap paper, man, you're saving millions of trees. And so there's so many good ideas like this floating around that now you don't need a big company, masses of money to figure out. You just get on the internet, searching around, find out something, like go in the library, but you got the library right in front of you. And people to help you. And you call these manufacturers, that make paper. They want to help you because they're hoping that they're going to sell a bunch of paper to you someday, or a bunch of whatever it is. So that's the way to learn. You don't have to know bupkis about it. And these are students who did it. So watch how they did it. Listen to them. It's a great little gift too, particularly for kids, grown-ups, everybody. We all change our minds. It's a great way to change your mind without throwing away the paper. Watch. Well, Hissam Akbarnijad, right? It's a more delightful name. It sounds like it should be music or something than just a name of somebody. It's more melodic than that. But more important, what people should remember is writeerase.com, right? That's the important part.
Exactly.
And you guys, you and your buddies there are four of you, engineering students up in Canada, who just love writing on paper and doing projects and everything. And you decided, but everybody should have a little whiteboard, right? Those erase kind of boards that we use, but their own little personalized one, so we don't waste so many trees and scrap paper, right?
Exactly, that's our hope.
Well, it's fun. So you got this product now. How much is it? Like $10? You could get a book of all these write erase pads.
Yeah, the price started from $9 for early birds, and they go up to $31 depending to the sizes and the like different stuff.
So you got a little pocket size. You have one there, right?
Yeah, I have one with me right now.
That's the small one. And
That's
so there's
the small
25
one.
pages in there, right? And
I think this is 25 pages, yes.
Right. And so you can have your photo of you on the front because it's your personal little write erase pad, right?
Exactly, yeah.
You have an idea, you share it with people at dinner, and they could add to it, and you could rub it off. It's easy. But the most important part about that paper that you guys designed on that is that it doesn't easily rub off. Like you could pour coffee on it and it'll still be there. You could brush your elbow on it and it won't mess it up. Nothing except the eraser on your pen, right?
Yeah, and one more interesting thing is that since it has the layer on the top, it's water resistant. So if you drop water on anything on it, if you don't leave the water for hours,
I see.
You
So,
can easily erase it.
so like me with a cup
And
of coffee, huh? If I put
yeah,
it on my PC, I'm out of business. But on your, but not
exactly.
on your work, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So what made you think of this, or why? Why?
The idea, like we had the idea, like I told you, like most engineers they are struggling with papers and pen. Like
Uh-huh.
the whole idea of changing a solution to something else is with everybody. It's just that we did our research, we put all those solutions together that people have already done, we improved on those, and we came up with our first, basically.
Ah, I
So it
see.
wasn't like a one night, oh, oops, it came into our mind. No, it was basically
Uh,
doing the research. That
ah,
okay, we get this, how about that?
so
And then
you're really appealing to everybody who changes their mind. Like, who's my best girlfriend? Well, Mary, no, and you cry out, no, Joe, no.
no, yes,
Yes, okay, I'll keep that page and we'll start another page now. Yeah. But
exactly.
more importantly, people discussion and dealing with things, or artists sketching. You could really have a sketchbook and an idea book that you could either keep or not or reuse. And you're saying that the average person wastes a tree in scrap paper?
Average person he uses papers on his daily life.
Yeah,
So someone like me, engineer, scientist, someone who
right.
works in an office, who are dealing with like writing or drawing or designing stuff. And we're talking about a rough estimate of an average size tree. And that's a
So,
number that came to us, which is
wow.
not, it might be
That,
not a big thing if you think about as one tree, but if
well,
you're thinking about, let's say, just on a Kickstarter, 3,000 people, 3,000 notebooks.
mm.
If if we cut that down by 1%, only 1%, that's like 30 trees, and we're happy with that.
Absolutely.
We're
But
happy
but
with
not
that.
only that, just think we have 300 million here in the United States, or 350, I forget now what it is. And you got like, 40, 50 million people up in Canada. Us two countries alone could save millions of trees, you know. And
And
that to me,
the
now
idea
you're
is
talking real
simple. You don't even
trees.
have to sacrifice anything.
Yeah.
Enjoy it more, save money, and save the environment. That's the whole point of it.
But I think it's efficiency too. I mean, using something like this would be more efficient than crumbling up paper. You can't change it. You can't add to it. It takes you twice as long to redo what the heck you had before to be able to add to it. Then plus collaboration. Everybody now is collaborating with ideas. So it's so easy to show somebody else, and then they could just add right to it, and erase a little bit. And no, you want to have the corner like this, or like that. But I just see it's better, man, for kids. I mean, to give something like this as a gift. I mean, these kids love scribbling, doing, and all this kind of stuff, and they can erase and then plus have their own picture on the front of the book.
Yeah. We actually have a video on our YouTube and also on Kickstarter about a kid, 3, 4 year old kid, using the whiteboard and sorry, the write erase, and she loves it. She never gave
Oh.
it back to us. So
No, I can see it's beautiful. I mean, and that's why I think instinctively it appeals to the kid in all of us. I mean, having something like that, because you really could scribble. You never have to use an eraser that is going to mark up your paper, because this eraser leaves no mark and it completely eliminates everything on that thing, right?
that
I mean,
is true.
yeah,
Yeah,
just like
that's
a whiteboard. But this is better than the whiteboards, at least I've seen, because a whiteboard, you rub by it and you got that black stuff all over your white shirt, right? But
yeah.
on this, it doesn't happen. You could rub
Yeah,
it
and who would want to carry a whiteboard anyway?
right. A PC's bad enough.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's sort of like old school, because whiteboards have been around and they're not electronic, but there's something very hip about it, that it's sort of not just, having a 1950 Chevrolet or something like that. There is something hip in a tablet with a little whiteboard sheets of paper. Yeah.
That is true.
And that's what's cool about it. Yeah. So for $10 you get in this thing, right? And
It starts from $9.
$9.
The $9 are all sold out. So
Uh-huh.
the next one that you'll have to go is $14
Oh
each.
my goodness, what a heartbreaker. Well, that's easy to do. And you're going to deliver in May, right? Something like that?
We're trying actually to deliver it very soon. We are starting the production as we're talking right now.
Ah.
It's going very slow, but we're trying to have everything by the end of actually April or beginning of May.
Ah,
So
wonderful.
right after our Kickstarter, we want to surprise people with sending the stuff right away
Yeah.
to them.
Well,
And
but you already have like 500 people already. I mean, you were looking for $6,000, and just like 2 weeks out, and you got $15,000, man. I thought you engineers were very scientific. How'd you screw up and not ask for enough money?
yeah,
Well, it's a nice problem to have.
it is.
But I think you're really going to improve, yeah, not only creativity, but communications and so many things. Besides, every person getting one of these could save a tree. Wow. For $10, I could save a tree. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because then I could live longer, breathe longer, and invest in the environment longer. And so the people that get this, it's writeerase.com, right?
Yeah.
And
so I'm gonna spell it for you because
Okay.
there's only one E in between write and erase.
the Patuis, the good WRITERASE.com.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
See, precise engineers, and you're 4 engineers, so I
you.
know you're
Thank
going to
you.
be precise.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. So nice to meet you, and I'm glad you're working on problems like this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me over. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Good fun. Well, you're doing great work, and we appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, isn't that clever? You can be clever too, right? We all got clever ideas. The only difference is doing something about it, right? So now I think in our society, there's more opportunities to do anything about any idea you have. You know, you got the internet, you got the research skills, you got the money to give it. You don't have to be rich, you don't have to know fat cats, you don't have to do anything. You just have to do something.